Every path we walk holds secrets. Some are in plain sight, some are waiting to be discovered. What if, on an ordinary day, you stumbled upon something extraordinary? An unknown place, shrouded in mystery and power. Not long ago, I found such a place. Deep in the woods behind my house, an ancient well called to me. And when I touched it, everything changed. It was some kind of portal, some kind of looking glass into Aldarion. A world of light and shadow, of choices and consequences. A world that feels closer to our own than you might think. Through that well, I see it all happening now, today, as we speak. These are their stories, their destinies, and I am here to share them with you. So come with me, my friends. Join me in this journey beyond the well. Shadow Beneath the Surface, Episode 3, No Escape. Garrick ran. The trees of the deadwood closed in around him, skeletal branches clawing at the night sky. His breath tore ragged gasps from his throat, his legs burned, and the icy wind bit at his sweat-soaked skin. But he did not stop. He could not stop. Talon was dead. The thought nearly crushed him, but he forced it away. There would be a time for grief later. He had to survive. He had to make it to Valrosh. He had to report to Athos what had happened in Ashmoore. The monastery's horror still clung to his skin. The whisper still curled at the edges of his mind. The rune-carved man, the dagger dripping with shadow, the unnatural way the cultists moved. None of it belonged in the world of men. His mind raced to the rumors he had heard over the past year while with the Greys. The menace, the unseen menace, ever present. In the warm fires of the barracks, with his friends and a belly full of food, it was just a story. But now, it was real, and he could see and feel it spreading. A branch snapped beneath him, and Garrick's heart leapt into his throat. He veered off path and plunged into the undergrowth, ignoring the way the brambles tore at his cloak and flesh. He forced himself deeper into the woods, the thick canopy blotting out even the faintest starlight. His foot caught on an unexposed root. He stumbled, crashed to his knees, and hit the frozen ground hard. He lay there, panting, hands digging into the dirt, trying to will himself back up. The cold seeped through his clothes, unnatural, into his bones. He had never felt anything like that before. And then he heard it. A voice, smooth as silk and rich as velvet. My, what do we have here? Garrick's head snapped up. A man stood just ahead on the trail, tall and composed, wrapped in a cloak. His features were sharp, elegant, with piercing eyes that gleamed with something both intelligent and terrible. He did not appear winded. He did not appear surprised. He merely observed Garrick with the faintest hint of amusement. Garrick's breath came in rapid bursts. Who are you? The man tilted his head as if considering the question. That depends. Who are you, boy? Garrick swallowed hard, forcing himself up to his feet despite the protests of his aching body. My name is Garrick Altos. I serve King Athos, he added eagerly. The man smiled at that. Ah, a loyal one. He took a slow step forward. Tell me, Garrick Altos, what has you running through the night like a frightened animal? Garrick hesitated. Something about the man's presence pulled at him, like a current beneath water. A warning deep in his gut screamed at him to run, but his body would not obey. I was in Ashmoore, he forced out. There is darkness there, a cult. It's taken the town, it's twisted it. They murdered my friend. The man sighed almost wistfully. Yes, Ashmoore. He took another step forward. Tell me, what is it that you fear? Garrick's eyes narrowed. I don't fear anything. The man chuckled. Brave words. But I see your hands trembling. I hear the way your heart is pounding like a frightened rabbit. I can feel it all. And as he said that, he felt a penetration into his mind, as if the man really could read his thoughts. Garrick shook his head and looked up at the man in alarm. The man spread his arms. "You do not need to be afraid, you know. Fear is for those who resist. But you could choose a different path." Garrick stiffened. What do you mean?" The man's smile widened, but it did not reach his eyes. "You have seen the power of the darkness, seen what it offers. You have felt it, have you not? It is not cruel, not in the way you think. It does not punish. It rewards." His voice softened like a whisper. "Come with me, Garrick. Step away from the path you cling to so desperately. The darkness holds no fear for those who embrace it." Garrick's stomach twisted. He understood now. This was no ordinary man. This was something else. Something old. He could smell it. Something powerful. He closed his eyes and tried to see the light, the warmth of his home. It came immediately. He saw his mother, his sweet mother, long since passed. She was sitting on their porch in an old rocking chair and stood to look as if she saw him. Her smile warmed him through as a warm blanket fresh from the hearth. "No," he whispered, then louder and firmer, "No!" The tall man turned menacing, shaking his head. "A pity." Garrick moved before he could think. His fingers wrapped around the dagger at his belt, and in one swift motion he lunged. Steel flashed, and the man caught Garrick's wrist mid-strike with a single hand. Garrick's eyes widened in horror. He had struck with all his might, and he was not a small person. Yet the man had stopped him as if he were nothing more than a child. Then the fingers around his wrist tightened. A sickening crack splintered through the night. Pain exploded up Garrick's arm. He cried out, falling to his knees, his dagger clattering uselessly to the ground. He clutched his mangled wrist, his breath coming in ragged gasps. The man crouched before him, tilting Garrick's chin up with a single gloved finger. "Bravery is admirable, but you mistake foolishness for strength." "I know strength. I know it. It is the light. It is love. It is loyalty." The other hand shot out impossibly fast, wrapping around Garrick's throat and lifting him clean off the ground. "I'll show you what true power looks like, you insignificant fool!" the figure screamed in a maniacal voice. Garrick struggled, kicked, clawed at the iron grip, crushing his windpipe. The world blurred at the edges. His vision tunneled. The man's laughter was the last thing he heard before darkness swallowed him whole. Far away in the heart of Valarash, King Athos awoke with a start. His breath came heavy, his chest tight with an unshakable sorrow. The air in his chambers was still, but he felt the echo of something distant, something terrible. Beside him, Seraphina stirred. "Athos," she murmured, her voice thick with sleep. "What is it?" Athos did not answer right away, the vision still so vivid in his mind as he felt the searing pain of the two young men, valiant warriors and stewards of the light. He turned his gaze to the window, where the first hint of dawn painted the horizon in muted golds and purples. His fingers curled into the blankets, his jaw set with quiet grief. Finally, in a voice barely above a whisper, he spoke. "They're gone." Thank you for joining me today as we look beyond the well. What lies ahead is not just a tale, it's a journey, one that we will take together. If you're ready to step further into Aldarion, subscribe and follow Beyond the Well wherever you listen to podcasts. For even more information, visit beyondthewell.net for transcripts, notes, character descriptions, maps, and much more. And remember, sometimes the path we walk reveals more than we ever imagined. So, keep seeking, keep dreaming, and keep telling your story. Bye.